Today is Monday, January 21st. It is the Moretown Selectboard meeting here at the 79 School Street at the John Cogwood Meeting Room. Tonight we have a presentation from the state. We have Laura Stone, Corey Burrell, and Judith Ulrich. Is that Early? Thank you. And they're here to show the alternative presentation meeting for the Moretown Trust Bridge over here on Fletcher Road. So I'll go ahead and let Laura start.
So welcome. This is the alternative presentation meeting for Bridge 42 on Fletcher Road over Town Highway. It's also Town Highway 39 over the Mad River. So thank you for introducing us. This is Corey Burrell. He is going to be the design project manager. So once this project moves out of scoping and into design, he'll be corresponding with Corey. Judith Ehrlich is the V-Trans Historic Preservation Officer, and I'm myself, Laura Stone. I'm the V-Trans Scoping Project Manager. So the purpose of the meeting, we want to provide an understanding of our approach to the project, talk about the project constraints, the constraints that are surrounding the structure. We really want to gather the town's needs for the project and gain consensus, build consensus towards an alternative. Really we want to provide an opportunity to ask questions and voice concerns and discuss the alternatives that we considered in the scoping report. So here's the location map. I think everybody here is aware of where it's located. It is right next to the Moretown Town Hall. There's an aerial view. So what this picture really shows is that if it is a dead end, Fletcher Road is a dead end road. There are 3 properties on the other side of the bridge, so there is no detour route available. So this is a timeline of our V-Trans product development process. So this really shows that we're in a really early stage of product development. The project's been funded, and we're in this stage called project definition. This is where we identify our environmental resources, our cultural resources. We look at the constraints around the bridge. We evaluate alternatives, and at the end of that, we have a scoping report that lays all of those alternatives out. We have this public participation piece, and like I said before, really what we want to do is build consensus for the selected alternative. So after we hear from the town on how you guys want to proceed with the project, then the project will be defined. That's when we'll move into design, quantify the areas of impacts. Is there going to be right-of-way needs? That's when we'll start the environmental permitting process. The right-of-way process, develop plans, estimates, specifications. After design, a contract will be awarded, and this will move into construction. So that's about 2030. So we're about 5 years off from construction. So here's a picture looking east towards Vermont 100B. The roadway is classified as a rural local road. It's a class 3 road. The bridge is a Warren Pony Trucks, owned by the town of Moretown, so there is a town share in the project. Constructed in 1920 and reconstructed in 1991. And if I'm correct, there's been a smaller rehabilitation project since then. So this slide describes Act 153 of the 2012 legislative session. Prior to 2012, Town Highway Bridge projects, and this is part of the Town Highway Bridge program. Town Highway Bridge projects had a 10% local match. Act 153 says that the local share is reduced by 50% for rehabilitating versus replacement, and it's reduced by 50% for closing the road to traffic during construction. And I'll clarify with that, closing the road to traffic and not constructing a temporary bridge. So with those shares, it can be anywhere from 2.5% town share to 10% town share. So here's a picture looking west over the bridge. There are aerial utilities owned by Green Mountain Power, Waitsfield, and Champlain Valley Telecom. We may or may not be able to get away with construction without a utility relocation. It's something we're going to have to look into and design. The existing condition, so the bridge is in need of seal repair for the lower gusset plates and the bottom ports. Some of the gusset plates are showing a section loss of 50 to 75%. And there's perforations measuring, 1.5 to 4.5 inches along those gusset plates. Bottom ports have heavy sediment buildup and should be cleaned off to reduce deterioration. The bridge does not appear to meet the minimum hydraulic or bank-full width standards. However, it is considered okay because it is constricted with ledge pretty far up and downstream. So from a hydraulic standpoint, our hydraulic team is okay with where the current abutments are. And the bridge does not meet the minimum standards for width. So here's the current bridge ratings. So we rate bridges from a scale from 0, which is failed, to 9, which is brand new. Right now, the deck is rated an 8. That's very good. The superstructure, or those metal trusses that you see on the side and the floor system below, that's rated a 5. That's in fair condition. The substructures and the foundations on either end of the bridge, those are rated an 8, very good. And the channel is rated an 8, very good. Here's a picture of abutment 1. It's a little hard to see in the picture up on the screen, but it's a pretty short abutment founded on bedrock. And abutment 2, similarly, it's a very short abutment founded on bedrock. Again, rated in very good condition. Here's a picture looking downstream. So that's all that exposed ledge that I mentioned about, that it's up and downstream along the reach. And looking upstream, so we do have some environmental and cultural resources in the project area. Hazardous materials, there's multiple waste sites identified within the project area. 3 historic resources that were identified. So the bridge itself is considered historic. The Moretown Town Hall is considered historic, and the C. Foster House at 1143 Vermont 100 feet. We do have some archaeological sensitive areas. That's the Ward family mill. So here's an aerial view, and I'll see if I can use my red pointer here. So these green lines, this is like a bird's eye view if you're flying over the bridge, looking down on top of it. The gray rectangle here, that's the bridge itself. This hatched area that goes along the stream, that's that exposed bedrock. These green lines here, that's the town-owned right-of-way. Purple lines are property owner lines. You can see the aerial electric lines, they do go right over, that's this line that's labeled AER, and they do go over this wing wall here. So that's why we're thinking we might need to relocate utilities. But I'll go back there for a second. I will mention that the bridge, if we're just doing the bridge and not constructing a temporary bridge, we won't have any impact right of way.
Yeah.
So here's the existing conditions profile. The bridge is located on substandard horizontal curve. There's a 10.92% grade coming off of the bridge towards the 3 property owners on the other side. And then if you're looking at this right side of the profile, that's for the town hall, or the town hall side. So design criteria considerations, we have an average daily traffic of 3 vehicles per day, design hourly volume of 2 vehicles per hour, percent trucks of 0. And really the alternatives that we considered, well, basically 5 main alternatives for scope. The first alternative is a truss rehabilitation. All of the structural deficiencies would be addressed. The effects on invasive properties and historic and archaeological resources would be minimal. And we would expect, I think 50-year design life that's stated there might be a little generous. We'd probably expect about a 35 to 50-year design life. Next, we looked at a bridge replacement with a new Warren Pony truss. And with that, there's kind of two options. So one is put a new Warren Pony truss that matches the existing width, so that 11-foot width on the existing substructures. The other option is put in a new Warren Pony truss that's wider, so it could either be a 16-foot or an 18-foot wide bridge on new substructures. With both of those options, we'd likely match the existing span, to match the current hydraulic and bank with conditions, match the existing horizontal and vertical alignments. And with any new bridge, we would design that to 75 years. Next, we looked at bridge replacement with a steel beam bridge. So that's more of a conventional bridge type that just has beams underneath and a deck on top with bridge rail on the side. So that would remove those trusses that are on the side. Again, with that, we can construct it narrow and reuse those existing abutments. Or we can put in a full bridge replacement that would be 16 or 18 feet with new substructures. And I guess I'll just explain the 16 and 18 feet, because it's a one-lane structure with such low traffic volumes now, the minimum width for a single lane structure is 16 feet. And for a 2-lane bridge in this location would be 18 feet. So that's why those numbers are kind of both thrown around. So rehabilitation layout, it would look very similar to the existing conditions layout. We would clean, repair, or replace deteriorated truss members. We'd likely replace the entire floor system underneath, strengthening of members, repainting if needed. We would clean the sediment buildup from the lower stringers. Well, those would be replaced, so. And we would replace all of the gusset plates. And again, here I put a 30 to 50-year design life. So this is showing the 11-foot width typical section. So this typical section here is just showing the trusses on the side. It would match the existing 11-foot rail-to-rail typical to reuse the abutments. With a new Warren Pony truss, like I said, we could also widen this to 16 or 18 feet if the town wanted new substructures. So here's the 11-foot width layout. It matches the existing, so it looks just like the existing conditions layout. Similar length, similar skew as the existing bridge. And we would reuse the existing foundations to reduce the town share by 50%. So this is showing what an 18-foot width bridge would look like. We could fit 2 cars on there. This one is showing that kind of that conventional bridge type, that steel beam bridge type. But this 18-foot we could do with steel beam bridge or a truss bridge. And this is just a layout that shows a little wider bridge. Again, it would be very, very similar length and skew. It would be put in the exact same location as it is now. We are kind of constrained by the buildings at each of the approaches. New foundations would be needed for a wider bridge. And again, any of the options other than rehabilitation being designed in 75 years. So this is showing a new Warren Pony truss profile. We would be matching the existing profile that's out there. And this is showing the steel beam bridge profile. Again, with that option, we would just match what's out there. So our recommendation from the scope, not talking about traffic control yet, our recommendation is a new Warren Pony truss placed on the existing abutments. It is a historic structure, so by putting in a new truss that retains the aesthetics of the existing bridge, the annualized costs between either rehabilitating or replacing the truss is comparable. And the additional life on the new bridge is a major benefit. By retaining the existing substructures, it does reduce the town's share by 50%. And so we had that meeting with property owners back in April, and what I heard from all of the property owners present was that the 11-foot width meets their needs. They did request an increased capacity, and with a brand new pony truck, you could increase that bridge capacity. At this point, I can't say what that will be to, but we can definitely increase it from what it is today. So maintenance of traffic. We looked at 3 options. Typically, we look at phase construction because this is a trust, it's non-redundant, it's not an option here, it's also too narrow. The other option we look at is, so we looked at full closure, so that would close the bridge entirely and not provide access to property owners. The next option was a temporary vehicular bridge placed on the town hall side of the road. And then the next option would be a temporary pedestrian bridge. So full road closure, again, no detours are viable. We believe that we could get this reopened within 30 days. We could get a prefabricated pony truss here. 30 days is pretty aggressive, but that's something that we think we can meet based on past projects. This would reduce the local share of the project an additional 50%, so it would be a 2.5% town share. There are 2 residences and a business, so there's Mad River Yoga on the closure side of Bridge 42. Communication with the residents affected by the bridge closure would be required to determine what needs, like temporary parking, compensation for lost business, etc. would have to be considered to make this option viable. The next option we looked at was a temporary bridge. It would be a 1-lane temporary bridge constructed on the upstream side. So the existing bridge is shown on this layout in this gray color. And this is, if I believe right, this is the driveway for the town hall. Yeah, so the temporary bridge is shown in orange here, and that would come off of the town hydrant, the town hall driveway, and match back in. So this would keep vehicular traffic open during construction. The next option we looked at was a temporary pedestrian bridge. That would also be in the same location. With a temporary pedestrian bridge, it's less expensive, it has less impacts. It does not qualify the town for that 50% reduction in share. Because it is a temporary bridge, it's still that 50% is not eligible.
If the contractor probably build a bridge together, somebody can get across themselves, I mean.
Yep, when a contractor gets out there, the first thing they're gonna do is construct a temporary pedestrian bridge for themselves.
Right.
I can't guarantee that they would let,
Anyone needs it, right?
it could be a liability to them, maybe they would be okay with it. Maybe they could say, hey, they're only coming and going a couple times, sure, we let them use it, and that is entirely out of my hands.
Yeah.
Out of the state's hands.
That's just a question, I didn't know whether that was viable or has been done in the past, is there any history of that,
Not that I know of, I mean, there's always safety risks.
Right.
Just because there's gonna be contractors actively using that pedestrian bridge, so they're gonna be walking back and forth with materials and.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot of people in that way,
Yeah.
in that way.
Would they end up building themselves a bridge and then we also have a pedestrian bridge? Would there end up being 2 walking bridges? Or would the contractor use the same bridge we have?
That's a good question. I'm guessing they would construct their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So our recommended alternative, and this is really This is just our recommendation, this is truly up to the town, you guys have to have conversations with the property owners on what they can, you know, what they can live with.
Possible, sure.
But we recommended a new board pony trust on existing abutments with pedestrian traffic maintenance. So maintain access to the far side with a temporary pedestrian bridge. It seemed like when we had that meeting back in April, everybody was okay with that
Yeah,
versus
so-
the vehicular bridge.
Mhm.
Again, being a historic structure, it retains the aesthetics of the existing bridge. So if we're gonna provide a pedestrian bridge, we were originally thinking a full construction season duration. But what we heard from the property owners is that was still gonna be a detriment to them. And so when we went back and finalized the scoping report, we put this as a 60-day closure. If we provided a vehicular bridge, well, there would be no closure, so the contractor would just have all covered.
Yeah.
So we're saying with a temporary pedestrian bridge, 60-day closure.
Maximum.
So reuse of the existing abutments reduces the town share by 50%, so with that option, it would be a 5% town share. So this is the alternatives matrix, and I'm not gonna spend more than a second on here because it is too busy and there's too much to see. This is the matrix that can be found that shows the costs for all of the alternatives in the scoping report. I'm just gonna keep moving. So this is the new Warren Pony Trust on the existing foundations. This is what we found in the meeting back in April, that it kind of seems like everybody was okay with alternative 2A, so that's placing the new trust on the existing foundations, maintaining that 11-foot width. But this is just showing the costs between the 3 different maintenance of traffic alternatives. So we have A, no access provided, has a town share of approximately 65,000. A temporary pedestrian bridge with a town share of about 140,000. And a temporary vehicular bridge of approximately 165,000.
What difference between them?
Right.
What's that?
The biggest difference is the time. If we go with the pedestrian bridge, the time span increases dramatically, correct? The 165.
Even a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, there's no closure if we put in a vehicular bridge.
So we're saying the road is gonna be closed for 60 days. If there's a vehicular bridge, then it doesn't matter.
Then
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
That's-
There's no,
Okay.
yeah.
Just what my own sort of, I know we mentioned this when we were out on the site. The pedestrian bridge certainly is an option, but the only trouble is that then there's no emergency vehicles. And so that's, that could be a problem for
Does
those
the,
street. If there's an emergency or a fire or,
does the town have a fire truck make it park on the other side of the bridge? And then maybe even get mutual assistance?
yeah, that's certainly a
Maybe
good question.
We have this, the used tanker.
Yeah, we can put that on there.
Yeah, we just replaced them, so maybe not, but that could be 5 years old, but that's, I don't know, but 5 years later, so.
Just something to think about.
Right.
Yeah, and even past emergency services, they're gonna have to haul their garbage. I don't know where they haul their garbage to now, but the garbage bins every week will have to be hauled across that temporary bridge, and it's gonna be.
Yeah,
Right.
That's a lot of a burden. Yeah.
But certainly spend some time with them and really
talk about it. And
Yeah.
plus,
the realities of it.
Yeah, because that can hit home pretty quick.
just.
Yeah, because it's really not a significant, $25,000 difference between the pedestrian and the car truckers. Almost seems like, why would you even? Just $25,000 difference.
Overall, thing, I'm I'm kind of siding with you on that one as well. I mean,
If you have fire issues and things like that.
yeah, fire, ambulance, I don't know who lives up there, but I mean, obviously if they're doing yoga, I guess they're not 85 years old or whatever, but.
Town share. We can talk about those shit, right?
65.
Yeah. Of course, the obviously different, so, but yeah, yeah.
With the town share, it's only
Yeah,
25,000.
yeah,
It's still a substantial amount.
right.
And that takes longer.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because roads aren't close.
Right, I mean, you know, yeah,
And, yeah, and
But-
that's a pretty good span. If they're hauling their trash cans down to, you know, across and sitting in front of the town hall. For,
I mean, we'll talk with them, I mean,
Yeah.
knowing them, they look at this and they'll say, $45,000, I'll haul my trash cans, I mean, that's the type of people they are. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think we'll spend some time and figure out how, what's really both safe and best for all parties.
So I don't have much more than here, construction start 2030, there's a total cost estimate of approximately 3 million. That depends on which alternative is chosen. Again, 2.5% share or 5% share, depending on how you guys choose to proceed. Next steps. So we're gonna wait for the town on their response, on how you guys wanna proceed with the project. After we hear from you guys, you say, yep, I want alternative 2A.
Okay.
We'll start developing conceptual plans. Once those conceptual plans are complete, we'll distribute them for comments.
What's the timeline on that, when you're expecting a response back? Yeah, that's what I said.
oh,
You can take a few months. It doesn't need to be tomorrow. So this is in the budget for 2030, which gives us a little bit of wiggle room.
But you're saying,
1 to 200 a month, but yeah.
If you, yeah.
that's still, we must, keep us in the 2030. Round.
Yeah, it wouldn't take a year.
Yeah, no, so that we'll figure out.
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand. Come up with a consensus, get back as soon as possible.
Um,
Several months, but.
Yeah.
yeah, that's totally
Yeah,
understandable.
it would be changed.
Yeah.
So after conceptual plans are complete, if those look good to the town, we'll process the local finance and maintenance agreement. We'll start the right-of-way process if needed. And there's updates on project plans and estimates each to the middle. So I'll go to my last page here. I believe the town has this web address that's up at the top here. But tonight's presentation will be at that web address, that's just a public facing site.
Okay.
And all future, plans submittals, so conceptual plans, preliminary plans, those will all be placed up on that website, so the town can go look and track the project.
Okay, great.
Questions, comments?
Is this been emailed to us from this presentation or no?
No, it'll be up tomorrow morning.
Go to the site.
Yeah.
If you prefer that I email it to you, I can email it to you.
No, it's also send it the link or whatever, as long as you have the link,
Yeah, no, yes.
whatever, yeah, whatever documents.
Anything else from you guys? Just the outside, the link may not work today, because we did have issues with. Oh, that's right, I don't think.
We're not gonna run home.
Guarantee I'm not going home tonight.
Yeah.
Judith, anything that you wanna add at all?
No, I mean, if anybody has any questions about the history of it, the background of it, that's my expertise and working with the permitting and detail, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, about that, this should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, especially we go with the existing footprint.
Yeah.
It's kind of a, yeah, no brainer.
Sir, do you have questions on this project here, or you're something else? All right.
Great.
I think the only thing I would, just make you aware of it, you know, sort of like these drawings, we're in the same sort of process of doing, trying to do a, revitalization project for the town hall. And we're close to finalizing the construction docs and stuff, and part of it is we've done some, site work, there'll be some site work with this project. So eventually we would probably want to share that with you though, because we're just
Right.
looking at some of the grades around the building. I don't know.
Like change,
You're
right.
doing much things to grade with the bridge meets the road, but there should be some information I can share with you, so you can hope it's.
Up to a temporary bridge to the parking lot, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, the parking lot, we modify them anyway.
Well, it'd be a handicap parking space and.
Or some training.
Yeah, yeah, and the entrance is gonna change in the back and stuff, so. You know, 2030, we're probably both on the same timeline, based on. Where we are a lot and some other things, you know, so with money and stuff like that, but we'll see, I just. And once we have the plans, we'll share with you guys. The drawings, the site plan.
Yeah.
It was a great presentation. Certainly, we heard the same things at that meeting. I think this 2B or 2A, whatever will be existing or 2B, right?
2A,
2A,
2AB.
right? Seems like the right way to go. We'll talk amongst ourselves here, and just want to put that on for here, but yeah, I appreciate that, you guys taking the time. What you're saying with consideration and putting in this presentation, I think we're all on the same page.
Well,
We just get the website and everything.
Right, yeah. We'll get it all online, so we'll see it, then we'll, all right, thank you very much.
Right.
Anybody? Yeah, thanks, have a nice day. Take care.
So are there any other properties up there that have potential for?
It's just that third owner that wasn't.
No.
We had. Two people that live there now, but it was Robert Pearson's and Matthew Burns.
Yes, yeah.
And there's some that owns the living out the back. And that's why we were. Want to make sure that we just had. Thank you very much.
Construction, yeah, okay.
But it shouldn't.
The width and ladder, I think it's as big as almost any tractor that's gonna be.
But if they put in something new, like they said, it will be, so they can get a large excavator or cement truck or something like
But
that.
if you can't, then.
Right, so.
Then you
I
can't.
mean, But no,
If
so
it
that,
can't be better than it is now, then, you know.
right, so I think, what we'll do
I'm just curious.
is, probably, Sasha, at some point here in the next month, we'll look at the schedule, get the, try to get the people back in here, the landowners, see if there's any other concerns or questions they have. I think the biggest question we have on that bridge is the access, pedestrian or, you know, vehicle access temporary.
Emergency,
So let's get some feedback from them, what they were thinking.
For sure, certainly, yeah.
And then we can make that decision. I think that's the only real decision there.
Yeah, I mean, 2 months. It seems like a long time, but,
Yeah, we can,
but then again, yeah, we'll ask the residents, that's really what's important.
oh, you know what,
I gave yours to Laura, because she needed but even on mine, and so our next agenda item is the phase one environmental assessment with Carol. But Carol unfortunately is not well tonight. So Carol is home resting.
Okay.
And we will do this at our next meeting. Um, We didn't want sick people and she didn't want to be in here. So, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, no, she's definitely sick. She's
Yeah.
a tough nut, and if she could make it, she would. So Sasha, why don't we go ahead and go to you for reports and communications? If you've got anything?
I do. I sent you guys an email on concern with the gravel pit. I got a quote on signage from Upstate. There's two different signs that they quoted.
Yeah.
A fire lane and no parking, no public parking. There's two different sizes, and one size was 9763 and one was 12178 with a post setup that works for the guys to be able to put in. Just so you know about that.
So let's discuss that in a moment. So, obviously an issue down there.
Always has been.
It has been. And I had sent that to you, the no parking signs. I'm wondering whether maybe we have a sign, just no entry to the gravel pit during working hours. And then have the fire lane one so that people aren't just parking cars in the fire lane at any time, so in case they have to get in the fire truck to get water, and have that on like the left-hand entrance.
Right.
But then just have it posted, no entry during working hours, and set the working hours from 7 to 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Is there any scenario, I'm just, I think I put that out in an email, but, do we put a gate up? And then the road crew, when they pull in, they gotta just get out and unlock the gate and go in.
Well, I think we could try with
Try
the
the
signage.
Right,
And see how
right.
that works, and just, but, good size sign.
Good size sign.
And, then it could be like violators will be, or something enforced.
And you want to just, we don't necessarily have to say during working hours, we can just say Monday through Friday, 5 to.
Right, so-
5
right,
to 3
exactly.
or 7 to 4.
7 to 5 or
whatever.
something
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if we do 7 to
Monday through
5.
Friday, that way we're, because people are gonna want to go on the weekends, so that makes it pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and then the hours and.
Yeah.
I appreciate, I'm glad people can access and are using the river.
Yeah, but
it's
it can't
dangerous.
become a hazard,
Right.
and the alternative is to do a dawn set and put a gate, right,
Right.
Which isn't, won't necessarily be too much of a hassle for the guys, but hopefully
Well, then
unnecessary,
someone, people could park, I
Yeah.
guess, on the grass there in front of those cedar trees, and they could walk in, but,
Right, I think if they see that, and if and what we can do is we'll put something out on Front Porch Forum and
Yeah.
to let them know it's not to penalize anyone, it's for everyone's safety.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
Especially our road
respect
crew,
the-
yeah.
the work that the town, town road crew has to do, and also the safety that they're trying to
Yeah.
maintain.
I'd say that's,
Something like that,
for
yeah.
a few hundred, for under $500, I'd say that's a good first pass.
Yeah,
Because the gate's gonna cost us,
2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
of course, I know.
Yeah.
I think people will appreciate that.
Yeah, so why don't, Sasha, go back to the sign people and look, and we can talk in the morning, or come up with some verbiage of what we might want. It doesn't have to be too wordy, because people won't read it.
Yeah.
It needs to be kind of like big and bold and
Yeah,
right there at the entrance. And then I think the fire lane one is good,
just said
and,
no fire lane, no parking anytime, basically.
right, and if people want to go there during the weekdays, and this is something we can maybe put on the Front Porch Forum, is they can park right out here in this lot,
Right,
walk down and walk on the fire lane,
yeah.
might be appropriate. And, I'll take a walk down, maybe Don, or it in your mind, but we should, I want them, make sure, give some clear direction on how.
Realistic.
That's realistic, that's gonna keep them out of trouble and still give people some access.
Yeah.
So if everyone's all right with
Yeah,
that.
walking down from here is a little tricky going around the corner there. But,
Yeah.
That's not doable.
Right, yeah, it's not, well, it's, it's, the alternative is, getting behind a dump truck, people are doing that.
No, I understand, no,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I know you're not arguing, I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just,
But it's a tough walk, but I don't know where else people could, you're right, that's about the only place they could really park is back here. I mean, just to throw this out there, the bigger picture, whether any of us are even on the select board, and maybe, I've been talking about it from when I was on the board during early in the 2000s, was I hope
Move the
someday we
sand.
can move it,
Yeah.
to another location.
The sand pit itself.
And that's a project in itself. That's
Yeah.
a 5-year project, I'm sure.
I've looked into that
Yeah,
for a
we
while.
looked- Yeah, we all, I have, you have, but it's gonna just take a real commitment to saying, yeah, we're gonna do it, and then we could, I still have my list of thoughts of where we can move it, but we won't do that tonight.
I was gonna say, I think we all have a couple that,
Yeah, we all have some ideas.
and places that might work, but anyway,
Anyway,
so we'll go ahead with that. So thank you, Sasha, for pointing that stuff out to
Yeah,
us, and we will work with you to get on some sides. All right. What's next?
I got an email from Dawn about, John Lynch. I need a motion to accept him as TAC representative.
the V-Trans route, yeah.
Yes.
Want to make that motion?
Sure, I'd like to make a motion that John Lynch represents the town of Moretown as our V-Trans representative.
Second.
Second here. Any additional discussion on the motion? All in favor, vote aye. Aye. That passes.
So you'll let the CV, the people at Central Vermont Regional.
You'll let John know?
Yeah, well, he already knows, but I'll tell him officially. Actually, we're gonna be maybe meeting tomorrow, so.
Good.
Second old business and.
I have that file paperwork, for warrants. 2 liquor licenses, one for Morfest. Rental agreement for the roadside mower from Basin, that we did last year as well. An overload permit. And just wanted to bring up that Brad Reagan asked Sherwin again about the chain link fence between Sandy's and the town garage.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a quote for it last year.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not many people do that job. I reached out to another company to get a second quote.
Yeah.
And they said, well, I think White's does the work for you guys in Moretown. And I said, well, I'm looking for a second quote. And I'm waiting for one other company to get back to me, but I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay.
Because the quote was like for $4,500.
So is it, I think there are plenty of people that do that, but they just don't step on each other's toes.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right, yeah.
Well, maybe we,
Oh, they each have their own sort of territory or something?
Yeah, maybe.
well, we can look into that, but, all right, yeah, I mean, if that's something we've agreed that we're gonna take care of that fence, or we need to probably get on that, but.
And
Does
then-
it need to be a chain link fence? Could it be another
I
kind
guess
of
it was
fence?
part of the agreement.
Yeah.
that- Yeah,
I mean, would they maybe, if we asked them, would they prefer like a wooden fence
I
maybe?
don't
or-
know. Maybe.
Is wooden fencing cheaper?
I mean, sometimes you can just buy them like, they're like stock,
Yeah,
stock fences. kind of thing.
so you and I could do it on the weekend.
Yeah, yeah. We could. No, I mean, then it might even, I mean, it might be something they'd be interested in, because it could
Might
look
be a little
nicer,
nicer,
you
yeah.
know?
Definitely. And then when you guys get to the, purchase policy and the policy subject, somebody brought up, camping on town property.
Mhm.
I want to know if that could be intertwined into
What did you say, camping?
camping on town property.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if that's a purchase policy, but that would be a policy.
Into one of the town
Policy.
policies, yeah.
Right.
Like, any specific spots they're thinking about, or?
I don't know if it was like permission or if it was to keep the homeless type of thing from
Out
happening in
from
areas,
being
or-
on town property. We only have ability to do it on town property, I guess, so. Okay,
Yeah,
Like
we can,
when the camping that was going on, like on Route 2 there?
Yes, yes,
but that
And the
was,
neighborhood there was
that was
getting-
state property though, so that wouldn't even,
right, that one
Right.
wasn't in
Right.
question, but that type of thing.
this would be town property. Okay, I think we should have an ordinance against camping on the
Yeah.
town property. That would cover the whole town forest and all that.
No, that's.
It's not something we want around our classrooms and all that, yeah. Great, thank you.
Alright. Robin, how about yourself? You have anything you want to share with us tonight?
Well, I was just reading through the minutes and I was reading about the speed limit requests. And I was just wondering, I thought about this last week. Dawn, what's the option of just setting it something like the town of Barry has, where it's like 25 miles per hour unless otherwise posted? And then you knock every road down all at once. We don't have to go through this road by road thing. For some of these smaller areas, we could just say 25-mile speed limit unless otherwise posted. And then do one fell swoop with the state, and then all we have to do is put up, there's already gonna be speed limit signs otherwise. And then the places.
No, you're talking about when the folks came in about one.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, we
have
wanna,
that
we wanna
problem.
slow down in the entire traffic grid, here in the town.
Is
And
there no
that
difference
just,
between owning road?
right.
No, that's what I
I mean,
brought
I'm
up
just
that
thinking,
night.
that sounds
Yeah.
like, because we were like, oh, well, we gotta do it by road, by road, by road, by road, but if we were just to go to the state and say, hey, in the town of Moretown, it's gonna be 20-mile-an-hour speed limit unless otherwise posted. And that means wherever there's already a speed limit sign, we don't have to worry about it, and if we wanna
If we want to
take
keep it
away,
up
if we
there.
want it to be 25, then we just
Signs
take
will
the
be
speed limit
30
sign
or
away.
whatever,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But that would be great on all, some of these class 3 to class 4 areas. There was just something I was just brainstorming
No,
on, I
no,
was
I
like, well,
understand.
if we just say all of them, and I know they do that in Barry, because the minute you drive in, it says 25 miles per hour unless otherwise posted. So,
Yeah,
something as the traffic guy, I think we could
Yeah,
consider
no,
that.
I hear you, but, and I've just recently, I can send them to you. I had my daughter, we asked AI what the rules, the statutes were for Vermont.
Uh-huh.
Roads, changing road speeds, and it answered, and, I can't quote it verbatim, but.
Okay.
There's still existing statutes within the state. And this is why I'm actually, tomorrow, we're gonna meet with John and Joyce, who John Lynch is
Yeah,
replacing. And, we did this a year ago, we met with the V-Trans, not the committee that eventually changes it like they did on
Yeah,
Route
yeah.
2.
the last one.
We were just having a brainstorming session about just 100B and the village and all
Uh-huh.
that. And, it still appears, as near as I can understand it, that the state statute dictates that towns cannot change the speed limit below, either, it has to be between 35 and 50,
On
you
any
know,
town
on their
highway
roads,
or
unless
whatever.
they do a study or
Oh,
something like
okay.
that.
Okay.
And you know, but then I was
Yeah.
told that actually the state had changed that statute, but.
Okay.
when
Let's
we-
check it
you
out,
know,
because I think it has changed that.
That's what
statute.
I thought,
Yeah.
but then when I was reading, again, it was just something we asked the AI, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back to, Central Vermont Regional Planning and like get their take on it and see what they understand about it, you know.
Well, even if it wasn't on the state highways, it would eliminate like these folks, you know? like-
Reach out to Dara too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can maybe.
I was just thinking,
you're
that seemed
right.
like
No, I
a
think-
reasonable idea. I was like, well,
I think it's a good idea.
if we knock off 50 of them and like, then have to worry about the other
I
five.
don't know if we
it'd
can
be-
buy all the
yeah.
signs at once, but we did.
Then we don't
buy
have to
some.
buy all the signs at once.
No, because all you have to do is
Yeah.
unless
Yeah,
otherwise
unless
stated,
otherwise posted. There you
Yeah.
go.
Right.
one
Okay.
to each entrance, but,
All right.
yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Any other,
That was it for me.
Brainstorms
I
over the
I
last
was
meeting?
expecting a longer meeting, so I was like gonna tie it up.
you're good, we got Don here.
Well, it appears that from, that the Mad River, Resource Management Alliance, that there was, the state sent us this thing that we had.
Yeah.
But it sounded like John there was a computer glitch, so that's done, right? We're all set with that, right?
Yeah.
Then there was that, what's up with that Public Works mutual aid thing that we all got, that Cheryl Lynn sent us? Were we supposed to do anything with that? or-
Let's, we'll wait for the whole board to take a look at it,
All
but
right,
just,
fine.
but what I thought with that is we'd be able to incorporate some of that stuff into the mutual aid that we have here in the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And find
there we
out
go.
whether people are signing it or what's going on, but there was some, I read it, and there was some good things and some other stuff that didn't, wasn't pertinent to us really.
So that was the CVRPC Public Works Mutual Aid Agreement.
Yep.
I wrote it down twice, actually. So Facilities Committee, you know,
Yeah.
we're slogging along, literally, because it's summer and everybody's got stuff, but I do have two, at least I'm moving forward, and we gotta trim these cedar trees that are
Yep.
along the fire station, because
Yes.
they're
Yeah,
too close
yeah,
and the building's getting.
Just watch the
you know.
cardinals.
Well,
Nesting season starts. There you go.
oh, so yeah.
Remember the cardinals? Yeah.
Right, because there was a birds that nest in there. So I actually have two prices. Both are basically the same, for $1,200. Both, this gentleman, Ben from Tree Huggers, I've worked with him. He's
Yeah.
great, you know. He even offered to take 200 off if he could put his sign out, keep a sign out there for a week.
Done.
Yeah, I don't know if we could do that on, you know,
Sure we can.
but, then these lads, are just getting started, they're Valley boys. So, I'm kind of, partial to maybe giving these guys a shot. They just, you know, Ben has been around doing it, I've had Ben work at my house, Tree Huggers. To tell you the truth, I'm torn on which one, but these are, you know, like my daughter's age, my two daughters right in that age, one of them went to Harvard and stuff like that, so. And they were really fired up to get the job as well, so. They're basically both the same, and you know, I don't know, I guess, I think I'd like to turn one of them on to doing it, you know, or get it in their schedule.
Okay.
They have, both of them can send insurance certificates and you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, what's the other form they?
W-9.
Yeah, W-9 and a certificate of insurance and all that. So, that's where we are with that.
What do you think, Robin? I mean, this is something, we said we'd get rid of the trees, right? Is that?
Well, we're not getting rid of the trees because the trees are like this. They alternate the cedars like this.
Yeah.
So this is where the Carol's house is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would take this inner row,
Okay.
you know, and it's about, 10 trees. It's gonna look a little weird at first, but then these will, you know,
Fill out
in.
for the space.
And then back here, there's a elm tree with a big limb leaning towards the fire station that has to come down as well.
right, well, that's-
So at least it's one of the first things to, we only put, I think we put $5,000 in the budget to start doing some work on the fire station. There's another item I'm trying to get up on the list to stay within that, and then hopefully before budget season starts next year, I can have a comprehensive list of the work that needs to be done, and we can say, yeah, this should be done this year, and this could be done the year after. It's this much,
Yep.
So,
So
I'd
now,
like to at least get that going.
yeah, no, I think that's probably a good idea.
That's at least a start,
And they're 1,200 each.
Yeah,
Or 200 less, or 1,000 if you put that.
yeah, but, right, I know.
I. I'm thinking $1,000 for the guy that has more experience.
Oh, no,
versus
these
$1,200.
guys do have a lot of experience.
Then it really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
Then,
maybe I'll see
If
who's
we can
more,
say they're both
maybe I'll
12, yeah.
find out who can do it first. And
Yeah.
I'll decide that
Yeah,
way.
as long as they're both 1,200 and we just forget about the sign and the $200 thing, we'll just call it that they're the same bid, so that way.
Yeah,
Why don't you
Make sure
just,
the minutes
why don't we
reflect
go with the Valley kits here?
Okay.
yeah.
Try that.
Okay.
And you know what, I did like their notes, if there's any usable posts down there, it's,
Yeah.
do have them leave behind.
Oh, okay, yeah, they put that on there, I thought that
Either
was a good
the
idea.
guys at the garage, if we can't use them, then I can use them, or maybe us, but
No,
seriously,
yeah, no,
some-
cedar post is cedar post,
Post,
yeah,
yeah.
I agree, yeah.
Okay,
Someone could use them,
All
right?
right,
all right.
so, all right, so let's go
Okay,
ahead and do
we
that.
could put
Put that in your hands
we could
then.
put the signs at the gravel pit on these cedar posts.
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Do that.
All right, so, do we
Okay,
need a
so,
thing for
and
that,
then
or-
we're
No.
trying to pick away at getting other stuff going, or at least comprehensive
Yeah.
scope of work for,
Start
for
for it.
some of these buildings. But I am trying to just go ahead with a power wash for the town
For the
hall.
hall,
Yes.
right,
You know,
yeah.
so I got one price, I'm working on getting another one.
Okay.
The John Lynch, we did, purchase policy, we're gonna do next meeting or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah, very soon, yeah.
Any updates on Frank Piazza?
You know, and I haven't called, I'll make a note to check on that with Ron tomorrow. I mean, the last time we heard when he was in here.
Yeah.
Anything on, any new news on FEMA or anything, except for what we read in the newspapers? Which is,
Yeah, we've got a couple more, I think checks gonna be coming in. I should have wrote it down, but it was just,
I was able to pay a $270,000 culvert, which the day before it wasn't, so I assumed this in FEMA money came.
Okay.
let me look.
that's for 2023 though, still.
Yes.
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, I know.
It's way under
Just-
the-
And what did you tell us, the bank loan for 2024, is this fall, we're gonna have to,
Yeah.
is the,
Yep, we are, the next meeting will come back with give everyone an update on.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
what's going on,
all right.
but I can just look and see what the last.
Ray's been out there working like a dog, so. Something's going on.
$349,949.30 is the latest drawdown that we were asking for. And that seems to be going ahead because that was a committed project. And we've got all of the stuff that we had needed from the Avery's invoices. So that's what they have, but that was last week and a half ago, so. They've been, and there was another one, actually, I think before that was like 220, so that's picking up a little bit.
Good.
And I know I checked with Sasha last week, a week ago, we had 190,000 tax revenue already after the first week of the bills out, so that's
Yeah, it's coming in pretty steady.
pretty quick and steady. I had a nice text from the local taxpayer thanking us.
that's
His
good.
tax bill was going to be a lot higher, so he just wanted to say thanks. And, he appreciated not being a lot higher, so I said, wait till next year.
We're working, yeah, we're working on it, don't worry.
Is it, at Morefest, can the Historical Society like sell mugs and T-shirts or
Yeah.
anything like that? Is that not? I mean,
No, that's fine.
Of course.
is it okay? I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know, they were told a year or two ago they were sold something and they said they were told they couldn't. But can they? Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about, you know, it's like part
Yeah.
of their, the
No.
little history booklets and they have some T-shirts and they got
Yeah, no, all that stuff.
mugs and stuff, you know.
Yeah, if there's, I think, yeah, just go ahead with that.
Yeah.
And if there's any problems, we
I
can
said
work with
I
we
was-
can work with the committee if there's any kind of confusion.
No, yeah, I was at the meeting and I said I'd ask.
I think there was, a few years ago, I don't know, there were some people concerned that it was gonna get very commercial.
Very commercialized, exactly,
And it was
but,
just
you
a,
know.
you know, some kind of a vendor fair type of thing,
Right.
and that's not, I mean, those type of
Right.
things are, you know, someone.
sell
wrap it
cheap,
off,
yeah,
maybe
yeah, you
serve
know,
something.
yeah.
That's what this is about.
Yeah,
Exactly, so.
okay, that's it for me.
Is that
right
it?
now, Yeah.
The only thing I had is, I'd like to go ahead and advertise that piece of property that we were originally had, a few years, or back when, that Ray was inquiring about,
Yeah.
and.
Oh, that he wanted to buy.
Right, so we've talked to Ron, and I think a couple of meetings ago, we talked about this, and he said, you know, if you wanna get rid of it, just start the process over, advertise it, and it's really open for everybody. So,
Okay. So he kind of put the kibosh on that.
well, just, I mean, it still is,
Yeah.
but he just wants to make sure.
Go back to square one.
Go back to square one.
Okay, yeah.
He says nothing wasn't, everything was done properly, but
Yeah,
there's some
but
things
it's kind of-
mixed.
but
It's been a number of years,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
We will put an ad in, and it's for a property ID 04 hyphen 066000.
066, what was that?
066000, 3 zeros.
Okay.
And let me just see what, if there's an address on here.
Right.
Would it be too off the charts? I mean, I know you have to, it's a, you know, it's a town property, it has to be public notice to selling.
To sell it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, is there any scenario that, let's say, no one does and it's still Ray, maybe we could barter for it?
We'll figure it out.
No, I mean, you know, just because he's, he's doing lots of work for the town, we could just barter, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, we'll have, he was said we got a bid on it.
Right.
It's on Lynch Hill.
Yeah.
It's described as, this is after the new appraisal. So the appraisers described it as access poor, landlocked, moderately sloping, view poor, in woods, all wooded. So it's landlocked, poor access,
And lots of mosquitoes.
and lots of mosquitoes. So that's about it. It's,
Okay. Oh, how many acres?
yeah, that's
Two
just
point,
exactly what I was just gonna look for here.
2 point something, I said.
Acres, 2.8 acres.
2.8, okay. Okay. And where are you gonna advertise that?
We'll put that on the value report, whatever we have for our town stuff, I think I think the value report and maybe is it the Berry paper that we have, or the Times Argus is the other
Argus,
one, so
okay.
whatever those two are. And I will,
Will it say in there that it's 2.2 landlocked acres type of thing?
yeah, it'll describe what it is, and I'll have the lawyers look at it to make sure it's legit and the way that they want it to look.
Right.
And describe, and what the terms would be,
Right.
which the terms basically be make an offer.
The terms basically make an offer and then you gotta do the legal work too, right? Because
Well,
Ray
that-
was saying he didn't even know, I mean, it could turn out there's not even anything there.
Yeah, well, and that's what that's what I need to figure out with Ron, how we do that,
Okay.
because whether it's, you know, buyer beware, if you know, if you get out and there's nothing there, and you don't know the legal, yeah, so we'll need to figure that out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I just wanna make
Hopefully
sure
nobody will
it's-
respond and it'll be nice and seamless for us.
Yeah. So that's that. I think is there any other old business that we've got here?
I don't think so.
Yeah, everything's going through. Meeting minutes for, 7th.
Minutes seemed fine.
Let's see, fine. Is there a motion on it?
I make motion to accept the minutes of July 7th.
Done. You second that?
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye. Aye. Vote on that. So if there's no old or new business, let's go ahead and sign off on these things and have a quick evening tonight. Robin, if you want to start here. Don?
I just thought of one other old business thing, which is
Yep.
kind of, and I have a copy of it, and, this is the deed for the,
Yeah, the
With
town
the
library, the
Yeah.
former town library.
Library History Center, whatever. Hello, you can't, who can read this? Sherilyn blew this up, but it's so, I don't know how you read this. But then I was wondering, like, there must be some technology that could, I know zip.
Let me see that one.
AI could read this for us
Yeah,
or
I'm sure
something.
there
I don't
is.
know, right?
Son of a bitch.
Or do we even need to, anyways, for the next meeting, I'll try to get my eyes on it a little bit.
Yeah, how we have to. Yeah, have you heard any? I guess we wouldn't.
We did, when you were out last week, we did get another price on the heater, and we approved, saw
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you gotta look at it in the book. It's-
Yeah, I think we gotta maybe.
Yeah, because this did not. I mean, you got all these dots in the middle of the thing. I mean, I can kind of read it,
I mean, there's gotta be something or someone, because that's how all these surveyors and people do all these.
Yeah, yeah, but if you go to book, it's, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can kind of make that out. Yeah, that's how they do it, so we can all.
Gotta be.
Boy, I have a lot of faith in them. 270. Crushing some gravel.
Once you sign it backwards.
Whoops, sorry, Sasha.
You already did that
I
one.
already did that one.
Oops.
Say that?
Do you know who that gentleman was that was in for the presentation?
He signed in.
Yeah, I was just curious as to who it was.
And he stole the pen from me.
And was he here for the bridge?
Yeah.
Who?
Ruben McMartin, he was CVRPC.
Oh, that's where I've seen him before. Yeah. He was at a meeting I
What
was
is
trying
it?
to figure out.
CDRPC is what?
So he came from the bridge, I guess. Oh, interesting.
Oh, actually. These were,
2, 3.
So should I email Ron about the wording on that other notice, or?
Yeah, no, actually, I'll look at it. He sent me some stuff on already on that. I just don't wanna have him say, does these people read this stuff? I need to talk to him anyways. Send me, if you, in the morning, mid-morning, send me a text or call him. So I don't forget. Good. All right, everybody, I think we're good. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second him?
Thank you, Rob. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Thank you, everybody.